Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level worth of investing and financial advice for free here on YouTube. And the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn business school and in grad school, I give it to you for free here on this channel. So before I get started, everybody, I want to give a shout out to one of my sponsors, Kilico Solutions. If you need website development or essentially someone to pretty much edit your YouTube videos, this is the best business that I've worked with in the industry so far. I'm going to do all my digital needs, and they're the ones who pretty much create all these dope YouTube graphics that you see or whatever as I'm doing my podcast, okay? So I always talk about generational wealth in this channel, and I had a young man send me a question that I absolutely love. This is the kind of thing why I started Financipation, because if I can get kids to start thinking this kind of way, this is where I ultimately will hope our community is going, okay? All right, cool. So let me go ahead and read this question, okay? Because this is once again the reason why I started this channel. Hello, Chris. My name is Breon, and I love your channel, Financipation. I've been following it since your Kevin Samuels video from a couple months ago. I grew up in government housing in Brooklyn and was a student athlete that played Division II basketball for a small college in upstate New York. I'll be graduating this June with a mechanical engineering degree, and I just accepted a job offer in Manhattan with an engineering firm that offered me $85,000 a year. I'll be honest, Chris, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 35, and what investments in the stock market should I make? This is an amazing and a dope question. And once again, people, I love this kind of stuff. This brother grew up basically inner cities, grew up in New York, grew up in housing projects in Brooklyn or whatever. He got a Division II basketball scholarship, and now this kid is a mechanical engineer, and he just accepted an engineering position in Manhattan. This young man has literally changed his financial tree, and I love it. And he's asked me essentially, how can he be a millionaire by the time he's 35? All right, cool. So I'm going to enjoy really answering this question. So for the sake of this video, we're not going to talk about real estate investing or retirement accounts. Okay, I'm just specifically going to talk about what types of stocks you should invest in. All right. So as I said earlier, first off, I want to say congratulations. I mean, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and thank you for this question. And I really want to commend you for studying engineering, and more importantly, I want to commend you for essentially changing your family tree and moving once again from the projects into essentially changing your dynamic and changing basically how everything's going to go in your life. It's amazing. And I also want to commend you for having a job literally waiting for you when you graduated. So that's dope. That's dope. All right, so cool. Let's get started. For this podcast or whatever, we're going to talk about the different types of investments I want you to go into. And I want you to be investing essentially in three brokerage accounts I want you to focus on: Vanguard, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab, okay? So the index funds in these brokerage accounts historically return around 10 to 14% over a 15-year period. That means as you invest in the type of total stock market index funds that are available through Vanguard, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab, you are literally guaranteed on average to make roughly 10 to 14% over a 15-year period. And that 15-year period, you can track it over the last 100 years. People have literally made money, okay? And the best part about it is these index funds, because they are passively managed, they have a low expense ratios of typically under 0.04%. So they have an expense ratio, once again, of under 0.04%. Full disclosure, I have a brokerage accounts with Fidelity and with Charles Schwab, okay? So I can tell you just from the years that my wife and I have been doing it, and that my family's been doing it, they have given us some extremely good returns, okay? So how much did you invest? All right, Breon, you said at the very beginning in this question that you're 22 years old and you're graduating with a mechanical engineering degree this June or whatever, and you accepted a position in Manhattan, and that position in Manhattan is essentially paying you $85,000. You're 22 years old, and you said you want to be a millionaire 13 years later by the time you're 35. All right, cool. So if you invest in an index fund with Charles Schwab, Vanguard, or Fidelity, that's a track record of returning over 10% over a 15-year period, that means in order for you to be a millionaire by the time you are 35, you would need to invest roughly $3,200 per month, starting from the time you start your job in this June to the time you turn 35, okay? So $3,200 per month. And voila, you are a millionaire, Breon, by the time you are 35 years old. Now, I'm going to be real with you. If you told me at 22 years old that I needed to invest $3,200 per month or whatever in order to be a millionaire by the time I was 35 years old, I would literally look at you, laugh, and just walk away. And the reason why I would do that is because at that point, when I was 22 years old, that concept as far as, okay, this is how much money I need to basically invest to make my money, I wasn't thinking that way. I was still very young. So, and I would get discouraged very easily. So here's my advice, Breon. Do not get discouraged, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, it's possible for you to essentially find a way to be able to invest $3,200 per month, okay? So first and foremost, Breon, this is what I want you to do. You need to dominate corporate America. Now, $85,000 is a lot of money. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you. In New York City, it does kind of depend or whatever, but it's still a much better starting salary than most Americans have, which is one reason why I push my listeners to get degrees in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, healthcare, law, or finance. Because if you get a degree in STEM, you pretty much are guaranteed to always have a job, just like Breon, and you're also, more importantly, guaranteed to always have an extremely lucrative career, okay? So first and foremost, the first thing, Breon, you need to do is get your money up. I need you to dominate corporate America. Now, $85,000 a year in New York City, as a mechanical engineer, bro, you're going to be making over $100,000 in New York City very quickly. I would say you're probably going to get over six figures in roughly 3 to 5 years or whatever. Why? Because there's too much engineering work out here and there's not enough engineers to do it. So just by the laws of supply and demand, your company is going to be paying you over $100,000, I would say, in less than 3 to 5 years. And if they don't pay you $100,000, leave after 5 years, and I guarantee you'll be making more than that, okay? So take the difficult assignments, Breon, ask for a raise every year, period. And if you're in the private industry, I want you to get your professional engineer's license, your PE license, okay? Because if you get that, you're going to be vastly more valuable and they have to pay you more money. Secondly, if you don't work in the private industry, if you do government work, I want you to get a master's degree, possibly in mechanical engineering, possibly in electrical engineering, or you can go the route that I went, which is I got my MBA. And the reason why I got my MBA was because I'm more of a people guy and I kind of like talking to folks or whatever. And I'm also I'm a numbers dude as well. I like money. So that's my advice, Breon. You need to dominate corporate America, but you have to maximize your earning potential as quickly as possible. And the good thing about it is, I'm going to be real with you. In New York City, it's not uncommon to be a mechanical engineer making well over $150,000 per year. Easy. So it's a lucrative industry in mechanical engineering. And one of the quickest ways, Breon, you can get to that point where you are investing $3,200 per month or whatever, is by dominating corporate America. Next, you're not going to get to that $3,200 a month, Breon, specifically by your corporate America job. As a result, it caps you out or whatever. So this is what you have to do, Breon. I need you to start a side hustle, okay? But Financipation, I want you to always think about the why, and I want you to figure out a way to find a why. I'm assuming when you were growing up, your why was, okay, okay, I need to get out of the hood. I need to get out of projects. I need to get out of government housing. So as a result, you hooped, you played basketball, you basically got a scholarship. And then from there, you basically figured out a way to study mechanical engineering. You graduated with a degree. So you found a way essentially to get out of the circumstances that you were in or whatever. And voila, look at you now. I want you to get that same mindset, Breon, when you're basically thinking about finance. Now, I said to basically invest, in order for you to be a millionaire, 13 years after you graduate from college, you need to invest $3,200 a month into a good total stock market index fund. So the way to get to that $3,200 is you have to have some type of side hustle. And the best part about it is you pretty much teed it up immediately when you started, because you said you got a Division II basketball scholarship or whatever to play ball. And I'm assuming you played all 4 years in college. If you spent 4 years playing basketball in college, Breon, A, you can really hoop, but B, more importantly, you have learned how to teach people to really hoop and to really play basketball. In other words, you got 2 degrees. You got a mechanical engineering degree and you got a basketball degree. And you can take that same skill set that you basically learned from all those years of coaching, lifting weights, dieting, and nutrition, and most importantly, time management, and train high school kids and middle school kids or whatever to hoop and play basketball. So this is what I mean by that, okay? The average basketball trainer or whatever that gives one-on-one lessons or whatever can probably charge, let's just say, at least $100 per hour. In other words, Breon, if you train 10 kids on the weekends or whatever, that's $1,000 every weekend. 10 hours of work, $1,000 every weekend. And you know what, most important, if you do that 4 weekends a month, that means you just made $4,000 every weekend, pretty much doing something you love, which is playing basketball and teaching kids how to play basketball. $4,000 right there. You take the remaining $800 you have, you can invest into a good real estate investment trust, or you can invest into another total stock market index fund and make even more money. But either way, Breon, I just basically showed you one way, just off the top of my head, one quick way you can essentially have a side hustle that can pay you the money that you need, essentially get that $3,200 per month to retire a millionaire at 35. Just think about it, okay? Please hit that notification bell, everybody, so that you know when I drop new content. Please hit that like button, share the video, comment, subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and I thoroughly enjoy bringing you guys free content, okay? So next, Breon, in order to get that $3,200 per month or whatever, I need you to get a roommate. Now, New Yorkers, you guys are a little ahead of the curve with this, because generally speaking, almost everybody in New York City has a lawyer. I mean, has a lawyer. Almost everybody in New York City, they have that too. Almost everybody that I met in New York City has a roommate or whatever. So I need you to get a roommate, Breon. First and foremost, I spent a large percentage of my life, whatever, having roommates. I actually, the last place that I lived prior to getting married, I actually had a roommate. And it was one of the best decisions I made because it literally cut my rent in half. So let's say in New York City, you're spending $4,000 a month for an apartment, for a 2-bedroom apartment, or whatever. If you get a roommate, you just cut your expenses down by $2,000 every month. Not to mention the fact you also get some companionship as well. So my advice, Breon, is in addition to having that side hustle where you're hooping, teaching basketball, or doing whatever other side hustles that you have or whatever, get a roommate because you immediately cut your living expenses in half. Next, Breon, I want you to do this. I want you to ignore the haters. And the reason why I say that is for this reason. Once you start to become successful, Breon, you're going to have more and more cats pretty much hating on you, saying you can't do it. There's no way you're going to be a millionaire by the time you're 35. And it's typically going to come from some old person who's a hater. And the reason why they're hating is because when they were 22 years old, they had all these dreams and aspirations, but they were too lazy or life hit them and they couldn't do it. And as a result, they failed. So they want you to fail as well. So my next thing I want to tell you is this, Breon, ignore the haters, okay? At some point, I'm actually going to list all the negative things people have sent me about this channel and about just me personally, and how it has literally motivated me to work harder, whether it was in my career in engineering, whether it was here in my financial career at Financipation. So use the haters or whatever, Breon, as fuel, because I'm telling you right now, if you tell the typical person at 22 years old, you are going to invest $3,200 a month into the stock market so you can be a millionaire by the time you're 35, they are literally going to hit you with so many "you can't do that, you're a failure, you're not going to be nothing, you from the hood, you this, you that, you can't do it." They're going to hit you with so much of that crap that if you let it, it's going to discourage you. And my advice, young brother, is this: do not let it discourage you and use the haters as fuel. Okay? And nothing feels better than when a person hates you, you proving them wrong, and then them begging you for a job or money years later. It's one of the best feelings in the world. Trust me. All right. So in conclusion, Breon, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I was very impressed with this question. Okay. I don't meet a lot of people who at 22 years old are thinking to themselves, how can I be a millionaire by 35? And they're not talking about rap, they're not talking about hip hop, they're not talking about twerking, they're not talking about music, they're not talking about becoming an Instagram or social media influencer. This young brother basically sent me a message asking how can he be a millionaire and what stocks should he invest in. And the fact, dude, that you say you grew up in government housing and you basically wrote a basketball scholarship or whatever to college, and you got a mechanical engineering degree, and you got an $85,000 a year job waiting for you, bruh, in Manhattan, dude, that's inspiring, man. At 22 years old, I was thinking about what's the next party I could go to. I wasn't thinking like you or whatever. I developed that mindset in my late 20s and my 30s. So I love this question, okay? And it's one of those kind of things where this is why I started Financipation, because I can see the change that's kind of starting to happen in our communities and the communities around this country in regards to financial literacy, and it's getting cool to be financially literate. And I like that, okay? And this is also one of those videos I wish I could package up, throw in the past, and show it to myself when I was about 19 or 20, because if I knew it then, what I know now, let's just say things will be a little different. The last thing I'm gonna tell you, Breon, is this, okay? You seem like a very hardworking brother. You seem like a very intelligent kid. I want you to do this. I want you to also enjoy the journey, okay? You're gonna be a single guy making $100,000 a year living in Manhattan or living in Brooklyn or whatever, living in New York City. And I can say it's just some experience. I'm telling you this because I know it. Outside of outside of Miami, I can't think of a better city in the world to be a young, unmarried bachelor than New York City. So I want you to do this, man. Particularly the fact that you're making 6 figures. I want you to do this, okay? I want you to go on a lot of inexpensive dates with attractive women that were raised properly to be wise, okay? I want you to date a lot of beautiful women, and I don't want you to spend I do not want you to spend a lot of money on any of them. Take them on inexpensive dates, and I want you to essentially find out what kind of qualities you need so you can find your lifetime partner. Once a year, bro, my advice is visit Portugal, Dubai, Colombia, Singapore, Europe, Ghana, wherever. I want you to travel a lot as well. And as I said earlier, enjoy the journey, because getting wealthy is a fun thing, but I can tell you right now, it's a lot more fun and it's a lot more exciting when you build your wealth with the right person, which is why I got married. So with that, everybody, this channel, Financipation, is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth, and it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a session with me at one of the links below. Please follow me on Instagram at @thereal_Financipation. My Facebook page is Financipation. You can also check out some of my digital, my e-products below as well. And I also have a financial blog that's coming on my website very soon. Please hit that notification button, everybody. And once again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And lastly, I'm not giving you financial advice. And it's up to you. Basically, I want you to take some responsibility and basically make responsible decisions based on the thorough independent research that you conduct yourself in all your financial choices, okay? Thanks for listening, everybody. And it's your boy, Chris. I'm out. Peace. Peace.